The London Broncos. Let's get back to the commentators. Graham Beecroft.
Thank you, Eddie. Michael Witt for London Broncos gets the second half underway. Let's hope that it's equally as good as the first half, which was very entertaining indeed. And from the point of view of these two teams, the stadium now filling up a lot more, so they're going to see, hopefully, a really good second half, Sean.
Well, if the first half is any indicator, Graham, we're certainly in for a tremendous second 40 minutes. When you look at the scoreline, 16 points to 12. Both coaches have had opportunities to address their teams. Probably praise them for what they've done well and just encourage them a little bit in some of the areas they think they could improve on. And, you know, one of them might be the kicking game. We see Scott Giroux straight away go for a 40-20. I'll tell you what, I think it's just short.
I think it is as well. So it was a really good effort, though, by Scott Giroux.
We can't check where it goes out, mate. We can't check where it goes out. Just have to make it.
He knows exactly what he's doing when he puts the ball on the end of his foot. He's trying to aim for 40-20. If that ball goes out over the 20-metre line, he gets head and feed at the scrum. We probably shouldn't be surprised that both teams are equal and even on the day. This is the 5th time that these two teams have met in a magic weekend. It's 2-2, and this will be the deciding one.
High tackle. So another chance for the London Broncos to make progress. And Gower moves them up the field with that kick. So not quite the start that Laurent Fraisenou would have wanted for his side in the second half. Couple of errors, but London pushing forward. Tackle coming in from Muniz. Witt. Spun out on that far side. It was well taken in the end. It was Howell who managed to haul it in, I think.
Good read by Bakary, though, wasn't it, in defence?
Sargentson. Krasniqi. Witt again. Gower. Spinning the ball along line to McMeekan.
Hold, go.
Gower just the dip forward, just trying to hit the upright, just to try and knock it off the upright perhaps and give advantage there to London Broncos, but turn behind. So once again that kicking game from Gower proving very effective.
Well, he spotted it. He took a little photo there of the play beforehand, and he's processed it and said there's a gap there. I'm going to just put the ball on a 5p bit, and he's able to do that. Now, he's a very, very good kicker, as Craig Gower. One of the things he does as well, he goes to the line first, so he creates doubt in defenders and he makes you come forward.
I know we're keeping our own score as well, Sean, but that's number 5, drop out number 5 for the Dragons. So I think that's an indication of the quality of Gower's kicking game, but it's also a bit of an indication as well of the quality of the Dragons' online defence.
Also, Krasniqi, who's been lively since he's been on, quite happy to run at the Dragons' line. McMeekan, which is the dummy half. Oh, that's disappointing error there from James Mendeka. Really was. They were just on a little bit of a roll, and Mendeka should have taken that.
It's a real shame that. It was almost the kids' show there. A strong carry, strong return from Krasniqi. Mike McMeekan gets them to good field position, and unfortunately Mendeka thinking about what he's going to do until he gets the ball in his hand, before he gets the ball in his hand, in fact.
Yeah, there's just the odd breakdown in skill, isn't there, that's just letting the Broncos down. You can see what they're trying to do, the process they're trying to get through, but they're just occasionally just breaking down in skill, and it's just letting the Broncos off the hook, or the Dragons, sorry, off the hook, or it's presented the Dragons with try-scoring opportunities, as happened at the end of the first half.
Breakdown in skill, Sean, but also in awareness. You know, you've got to be available to take the ball and think the ball's coming to you all the time.
Yeah, you do, and I think James Mendeka will appreciate the fact that you know, they'll have rehearsed that play a few times. Little offloads here from Catalan Dragons. They're just going to start to roll forward here, Graham.
Let's go down to the touchline. Terry O'Connor.
Cheers, Graham. Tony Ray's talked to his London side about being a bit more patient and build some pressure. They've turned over some cheap ball, which has allowed this Catalan side to score 2 tries from kicks and 1 from an intercept. They would just want to keep on playing with an awful lot of energy because he believes they can win this game.
Ball flipped out. There's a chance, and the ball has been touched down. The referee is allowing it. It did look a little bit of a forward pass perhaps in there, but the referee saying no, not at all. And the ball touched down over the line, and Bakary goes over to score another try for the Catalan Dragons. So from one end of the field to the other, and London Broncos punished.
Well, I wonder whether Laurent Fresinu has got the message on to shorten up those passes. We saw one or two offloads in the build-up to this field position. You just look at the quality. That ball's on the floor, the bouncing ball. I have question marks over that offload, whether it's forward or not. It's good skill to pass the ball to the right, using your right hand and your right arm offload, but Vicari didn't wait, he didn't ask questions, put the ball down, and that's a tremendous start for Catalan Dragons to this second half.
Stuart Cummings, forward pass.
I think that pass was okay. If Leon Price had picked the ball up, I think everything would have been all right. It just went over a bit of distance, and the momentum took it forward a bit after that. So all the officials are in the right position, and I think that's okay.
Well, it's certainly been counted. So Vicari coming into the side has gone over for a try. Missed 2 matches prior to this one, Vicari. Now, Giroud. So Giroud to try and add on the 2 extra points. And he does do exactly that. So he's come back. His kicking boots have by and large been good. And it pushes the Catalan Dragons even further ahead. 22 points to 12 they lead.
Yeah, either side of half-time, it really has been very, very significant indeed. First of all, after the hooter went, there's a 4-pointer for the Dragons, and then they really have come out with an intent in the early stage of this half, and within 5 minutes or so, they've posted another converted try. So that stage around half-time has been very significant in the story of this game.
Yeah, I think often in life, isn't it, as in sport, we talk about mistakes, and mistakes don't always have to cost you. But today, London Broncos are paying for their mistakes. I mean, they make a mistake on the 30-metre line, attacking the Catalans' try line. Next thing you know, within the set of 6, the Catalan Dragons are putting the ball down over the try line, and it's been a pattern, I'm afraid, that's happened most of the day. Whenever they've come up with an error, the Dragons have taken advantage of that, and that's something London will have to be very, very conscious of if they want to go on and win this match.
Menzies trying to offload, can't find anybody, so he uses experience just to hang on to it. Now Giroud once again, the kick very nearly charged down, spiralling in the air, and everybody looking for it, goes backwards. Escaré, still 5 tackles. Drive forward down the field, there might be a problem here. For London Broncos, just dropped. It was Dupont who was heading for the line. They just couldn't complete the pass.
Well, he's got the ball in the right arm, right hand. He's trying to find that pass. And unfortunately, Millard is just slightly in front of him. But Escaré picks this ball up, finds a wide pass. You feel if he gets it on the inside to Escaré, who gave him the pass, he probably has a better chance of scoring that try. Is there a touch here from a London Broncos player?
Yes, just a touch there from O'Callaghan, I think, but...
well, they've got away with it.
Yeah, given a turnover, haven't they? So,
Stuart, tell us what happened there.
They ruled a forward pass. They checked it with the video referee, and the video referees confirmed that the initial pass was forward, so they've gone with that in the handover.
Can the video referees be used there, though, Stuart?
Well, it was a restart.
Forward pass.
It was a restart, so that will be okay.
Well, isn't it funny, Stuart? At half-time, I was saying to you, there's something not quite right here. 40 minutes have gone by and I haven't disagreed with you once. Well, I've disagreed with you twice in the second half.
He's a happy man now.
I'm glad. I don't like agreeing with everybody, especially referees.
We know. Sargentson tackled.
I think this is going to be a penalty.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be a penalty. There's contact being made there. Even though Dan Sargentson was falling, there's still contact, and you have to penalise that.
Well,
that's
what the referee is saying.
And the defenders will protest and say, well, what am I supposed to do? Well, the rule is you can't make contact with the neck or head area of a player.
It is awkward, though, having decided that you're going to try and tackle, to all of a sudden at the very last minute pull your arm away, so it's a difficult one. Ball spun down the line. Oh, they tried to wrestle the ball away, but well held on there by McMeekin. Grady. Grady back to Witt. Gower. Is he going to try and dab it through again? Well, Taya takes it, and there might be something here on the counter-attack. They do well there, London Broncos, to just stamp out that little potential run right at the start. Has Gower just got to, sorry, Sean, has Gower just got to mix it a little bit? Is it just becoming a little bit too predictable, that little kick through?
Well, that kick certainly was. I think that's where you get the tactic and the technique mixed up, don't you? The tactic was right. He just didn't hit it well.
I think they're playing like a team who are lacking in confidence, to tell you the truth. They're very tentative rather than being confident in what they're doing and what they're trying to achieve. And there's only one way that they'll cure that. That's by a good victory. But at the minute, the Dragons are keeping them really on the hook.
Here's Giroud. Bangs it forward. Chance here on the run, but very good defending indeed. Superb piece of play. I think it was Witt that came across.
A couple of pieces of wonderful skill. Some offloads again.
As well.
Some offloads again. Scott Giroud can't find inside or outside support. He can't find a clean person to pass to. Puts it on the end of his toe, and it's not a bad place to give possession away to.
O'Callaghan, grabbed and forced backwards by Menzies for one, and also Henderson for the other. There's Grady again. Witt with the little dummy, did well there. Just trying to play the ball forward, maybe trying to force it too much, and now Catalan have it. Laurier.
He's a good player, that Laurier. He really does cause some damage on the edges whenever I've seen him play.
Fakir tackled. Difficult man to get down, the ball coming out of his hands, but reaped out, so it's an advantage to the Catalan Dragons.
Well, Catalan just starting to build some pressure. It was a good defensive set, some vicious tackles going in, and when they're running the ball, they're looking to disrupt the defensive system of the London Broncos. There you see Catalan. We'll go for two. We'll just slow the game down a little bit.
I think that's a good decision when you think of all the tackling that they've had to do. This puts them 2 scores up. Also, it allows the interchanges to come on. They've now had 6 interchanges, so they've got 4 more for the remaining 29 minutes. So they really are, Sean. You just feel as if they're just gaining control of the game.
Yeah, I agree, John. You just get that feeling that they're starting to dominate in all aspects, aren't they? Their size and their power is just starting to have an effect on the London team. I understand the reason for slowing the game down here and trying to get the 2 competition points. Sorry, the 2 points here, which will help them go on to get the 2 competition points at the end of the game.
And Giroud kicks it to make the score 24 points to 12. Well, they had to come back from a 12-point deficit in the first half. They're going to have to do it again in the second half.
Yeah, they're going to need a little bit of football, I think. There's just some signs appearing here with this London side. They've given so much in the first half, and they probably should have taken more advantage of the football they had and the field position they had. I'm not suggesting for one moment they're out of the game. We've still got 27.5 minutes left on the clock. There's plenty of time to play, but you just get a feeling that the Catalan side are starting to play the way that they intended to play, and that's with that little bit of freedom and finesse that they have, and a little bit of flair, and certainly more confidence than what the London Broncos have.
Well, as you saw, the Dragon supporters enjoying themselves. Just talking about confidence, only 1 win in the last 8 in Super League for the London Broncos, so that can eat into your mind when you start going behind against a quality side like the Catalan Dragons.
Well, they're not out of this game yet, Graham. I don't want to make that point, but I do believe they'll have to be the next scorers. I know 12 points is not a big turnaround. You know, you can do that almost in a matter of minutes in the modern game. But you know, if Catalans go on and score again, I think that's going to make it awfully difficult for this London side.
Going for the 40-20 here, but I think Robertson will just be there, is he? Has it gone out? Oh, well, that was brilliant by Robertson. Just kept it in. Just didn't unbalance and go over the line. So he did really well there, because otherwise they would have been under real pressure, the London side. Well, that's a mistake. Went backwards, said the referee.
Yes. I was going to ask Stuart a question then if he didn't give that call, but he's got it right, and it's the Dragons to have head and feet, and again, Sean, it's the tightening of that screw. It was a great kick. The chase was much more enthusiastic. Then the speed of line of the next play put the pressure on the Broncos and forced that error.
Yeah, you're right, John. I mean, you just get the feeling that Catalans will open London up here and score. Stuart, just a quick one on that. Why would that have taken what seemed a lengthy period of time for Tim to make that decision?
I think because of the position of the field, he was waiting to see if there's any advantage. The touch judges were screaming at him anyway, so he was never going to carry on.
Good. So now London with their backs against the wall, so to speak. Henderson, Menzies having to work awfully hard. Rodney doing the tackling. Here's Pelissier. Price. Giroud. Ball flung along the line and dropped, so a mistake by the Dragons.
Hey.
Conditions perfect. It's not as though we've got, I mean, I know it's a fast game and all of that, but we've got absolutely perfect conditions here, and the ball being dropped here and there. It's warm, but it's not crucifyingly hot.
No, that's not a condition thing. This is a pressure from Jamie O'Callaghan, who comes up out of the line. London tend to play an up and in style defence, so their outside defenders will come up and effectively umbrella you. So they put a lot of pressure on. But even with the fact, and Barry McDermott alluded to it earlier, the fact that Catalans play a really deep attack, it gives you more time to get up. In theory, it also gives you more time with the football to make decisions. But in that situation, London got it right, and it was just a ball that was probably thrown a little bit too hard, and as a consequence, it popped out forward.
Cook. Cook to Witt. Challenge coming in on Gower. The boot forward this time by Witt, and cut out, couldn't make the 40-20. It was well handled.
I'm not even sure whether he were going for a 40-20 or just wanted to relieve some pressure, get as far away from his try line as possible. It was a good decision. Hopefully he's told all his teammates that he's going to kick that ball, and that's probably why the chase was good, and they're prepared in this set to defend.
But you know, but I think the Broncos were better when Ben Fisher was out there. They look just have a bit more composure and structure about them, and I'm sure they'll be looking to try to get him out there as soon as possible.
Now here's Henderson. Ball inside to Casti. That looked a little bit high, but the referee hasn't penalised it. Henderson again. Once more Giroud, who's seeing plenty of the ball. Really good kick, but very well taken there. Excellent take by Robertson. He's given offside.
Well, we're
good
fortunate.
take under pressure.
Yeah, it is. We're fortunate we can hear the communication between the ref and the touch judge while that ball is in the air. He must have had a call, and he's here saying which one. He must have had a call. One of the touch judges has seen there's an offside chaser. There you can see right in the middle of your picture. Boucher doesn't keep his discipline, doesn't change the pace of his run, and he's offside.
It's interesting as well, Stuart Cummings, because very often you hear the crowd at the game going mad at the touch judge for not perhaps picking up what they consider to be a forward pass. How much general communication goes on, or is it just dependent upon the referee? Does he want the touch judge to get involved or not get involved too much?
No, it's very common across all officials that the communication will come in whenever they see something on the side, so it's then up to the referee whether he wants to take that information.
There's a bit of old bull, young bull there. Steve Menzies.
Just bundling Dixon into touch.
Just collects him here. Kieran Dixon trying to stay on the island, trying to shield himself away.
Must be difficult, Sean, for a youngster coming in like that, not to really take it badly and think, oh, it's not going for me, it'll never go for me. That's where the coach comes in, isn't it, and helps him out when the match is over, perhaps.
Yeah, look, I think Kieran Dixon just has to be encouraged all the time. Everybody has errors in them, you know, and rookie players, what you've got to do is you've got to maintain a confidence with them and understand that they are rookie players and they are going to come up with errors. But at the same time, Kieran Dixon could win the game for the London Broncos today. We don't know. Still with 20-odd minutes left on the game, he could come up with something special here and score the match-winning try.
And I was just thinking that there's 60 years between those two players. Unfortunately, 39 in favour of Steve Menzies and 21 to young Kieran Dixon.
Yeah, Steve Menzies last year He's still a very good player indeed at this level, isn't he? Lay off to Price. Fisher is on, by the way, now for the London Broncos. Here's Henderson again. Giroud. Well taken by Menzies. Still Menzies lays it out far side. Thackeray goes in. And Thackeray touches down his second try of the afternoon. And that may have just taken the game away from the London Broncos.
Well, I don't want to harp on it, but when you make errors, you have to defend them. And again, when Kieran Dixon went over the sideline, it paved a way for the Catalan Dragons to get the football in good field position. You saw Steve Menzies there. Classic offload, one-hand offload. Here's the Kieran Dixon. He said, look at this. Steve Menzies gets hold of him. So you can pat him on the back for the try being scored, because not only did he come up with a defensive play, he also takes a pretty high ball from Scott Giroud, I think it was, who threw it. And the one-hand offload out to Frederick Thackeray, and he probably won't score an easier try than that. And well, I think that's probably game over, even though there's 20 minutes to play. It'll be interesting to see how and if the London Broncos can come back.
Quality football, wasn't it, from Menzies? I mean, quality defensive play to win possession, and then to complete the set there with that lovely fend and one-handed offload to the wingman Thackeray. Is an outstanding rugby league player, is Steve Menzies. And Tony Ray, I'm sure, is thinking, well, so near, but yet so far. And I'm with you, Sean. I think that's the one that's broke the camel's back.
Well, Scott Giroud, 4 out of 5 attempts. Can he make it 5 out of 6? Bang on the touchline, and on the wrong side, really, for a right-footed kicker. And he has missed it, so it's wide of the target. But Scott Giroud has come back, and it looks as though he's never been away.
Well, that's the thing about halfbacks, isn't it? You know, they've got this wonderful ability. I mean, there's another pass. He scored the... not only helped set that play up, I mean, he scored the first try from an intercept from the scrum, but they just have this wonderful ability to get back into the game very quickly. I'm sure he's been doing a lot of practice, a lot of drill work. He's obviously gone into contact over the last few weeks, and he knows the plays that Laurent Frassignou will run, because he's been part of the Catalan Dragons now for more than just this season. So it's great to see him back, but I'm not sure the London Broncos will agree with that. They probably would have preferred him to be out for a little bit longer. But interesting to see what will happen now, Graham, because I think London will have to change the way they've been playing. They're going to have to open up. They're going to have to offload. They're going to have to play some plays now that are almost like catch-up rugby league. Even though there's still enough time on the clock, they're just not going to score points the way that they've been playing. They've got to change this up.
But at the moment, they're having to defend. Henderson to Paya. They're all anxious to pick the ball up now. This is Price from dummy half. Got it away brilliantly to Henderson. And he's just deciding which way he's going to go. And the referee says there's obstruction, which there quite clearly was there.
Well, that's one of those situations there. Henderson's looking for somebody to run a line. Menzies chooses to run a line. Probably Henderson doesn't give himself enough time to make that pass, puts his hand up and probably said, I should have maybe halted or stalled me run. He makes his decision and goes for it. He doesn't touch anybody, Stuart. Is that technically obstruction?
Well, the referee's going to be looking to see if he runs behind his own player. It was very, very close. If he passes the ball before he goes behind his own player, then it will be play on. So it was a very close call.
So is that no?
I would like to see the shot from behind it. The referee's view will be good on that one.
Dixon tackled by Taya.
Well, they've got to take advantage of this field position now, London. They've got to build some pressure. Whether they get another repeat set or not and convert that into points, but they have to take advantage of this situation.
Grady tackled. Fisher, the little dab forward, but too much on it. And the position wasted, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think it was Youngman Dacre, wasn't it? Just too heavy with his weight in there of that kick, and they must find another way. I mean, it's okay putting all your cards on the kick play and looking after the ball, but at some stage when you're 16 points down and there's 18 minutes left, you've just got to try something different.
And the Catalan player Millard makes 12 metres there on that tap. Really shouldn't be able to make 8. And they should be looking to defensively restrict plays.
Ball backwards, but picked up. It's back to 0 tackles. This is Escaré. Again, only a little fellow, wiry, just holding off the tacklers until he was eventually brought down. Taya.
They're winning the floor, though, of the Catalan Dragons, and let me explain that. They're landing on the front and they're playing the ball quickly, and it tends to be before the Broncos markers or the defensive line is retreated and set.
Taya barging through, he's got support here, and it's a try, another try, his second of the afternoon for Morgan Escaré. He was in support, it was a neat ball which found him, and the line beckoned.
Well, John Keir's just summed this up. They're winning the floor, therefore they're winning the ruck, and therefore they're able to play off the front foot. Now there's a little tap from Mike McKeegan behind, which gave 6 to go. It may have made a difference, but look, nice little chip on play from Morgan Escaré. Who's outside to Zeb Taya, who then goes through a couple and passes the ball one-handed around for Escaré to score under the post. And this will be converted without any trouble, and the Catalan Dragons will go further ahead. Game over, Barry McDermott.
Well, I'll tell you why I like Morgan Escaré. He's not one of those players that hands the ball off and just waits to see what's going to happen. He gets himself in the frame. He passes that ball, and again, short passes. And he waits to see what Zeb Taya is going to give him back. Nice one-handed little offload and picks up the ball. He's a great player, and I think, for me, he's probably the best player running around in Super League. And is a real good shout for Young Player of the Year.
He certainly is. 10 tries in 11 games for Morgan Escaré. And as you suggested, he bolted on 2 points for Giroud. So the game going away from London Broncos. But from Catalan Dragons' point of view, they overcame a rocky start and have done really well.
Well, it's a well, probably need to have a shave this morning, I think. But there's some people, they like to dress, don't they? They do like to dress.
John Keir's very jealous.
I was going to make the point, Graham, that that there was London had more possession in the first half, in that first 40 minutes. In the 25 minutes we've had since the start of the second half, it's all been the Catalans for me. We've not really spoken about London in possession too often, and when they have, we've spoken about a few errors they've come up with.
Paya tackled. Henderson. Casti. Henderson again. Price. Flicked on very neatly by the fullback, but a good take. Pinch there and a little bit of a facial going on.
Well, Vincent Dupont loses his grip on that catch.
Howell it was who managed to grab it. This is Cook. A chance again for the London side just to perhaps get a try, just get a little bit of a foothold in the game, give themselves a boost before the end of the match.
Graham, the Broncos are to think about next week as well. They need to finish on a positive so that they can build for the rest of the campaign, but especially for next week.
Fisher. Ball spun down the line. Oh, that was an opportunity for Howell, an opportunity which he couldn't take. Just bounced awkwardly. It wasn't the greatest of passes, in fairness to Howell, was it?
Well, difficult one to catch. I mean, again, it's the bounce of the ball, isn't it? We spoke about how the rugby league ball can bounce in many different ways, and that you don't blame David Howell for that. That's just a poor pass from Michael Witt, and it's another turnover, though, I'm afraid, and I've said that for a lot of this half now. It's another turnover from the London Broncos. When you look at the scoreline, and probably when they do their review early next week, they'll look at that and say, well, here we were in field position with opportunities, we didn't quite take them.
Just to underline what John Keir was saying, they play Castleford next week, so a big opportunity for them to try to get 2 points from that game. Castleford and Wakefield up next.
Yeah, well, the Broncos, Graham, they've made 12 errors over the course of the game, and that's just too many, in all honesty. If you're going to be competitive at an elite level of any sport, but especially at Super League level, the error count's got to be less than that.
Casti, there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Price, meanwhile, carries on with the game. Giroud. Good play by Menzies. Thought about the pass to Vakari. Vakari. Giroud. Price will launch this high in the air again. The sun right in the eyes of the defenders, but very well taken indeed by Robertson.
It was a good take. I can't emphasise enough how those balls twist just at the last second. Robertson never took his eyes off the ball, and it was a good chase from Catalan. Just pouched the ball and snuffed out the threat.
Howell to Fisher. Wheeled and got it away, did well. Fisher. Gower at dummy half. Rodney. Fisher, who is on the coaching staff as well at the Broncos. This is Dixon now. What can he do here? Dixon has beaten one. Lobs it forward. Try time, is it? Dixon. Yes, he's done it. Great try for the little fella. Kieran Dixon will be delighted with that, and so will his coach. Great stuff from Kieran Dixon.
Well, I mentioned earlier that he might score the winning try. He still might. The clock's running down, though. But one thing's for sure, this kid's got absolute brilliance about him. Kieran Dixon, he's got great speed. He's got great awareness. He kicks over the top. Just a little chip and chases and times his run well enough to get a good bounce. Just have a look. Beats the player. A wonderful ball, by the way, from Craig Gower. And then he just waits and bides his time. Ball bounced up nicely for him. He had to do a little bit of work to regather that. He almost loses it. Oh, terrific try. Great individual effort. Brilliant pass from Gower, though.
Yep, great stuff. And good to see a lad from the London area coming in, playing in Super League, doing well. He's only just started his career, and if he keeps going the way he is and improves perhaps a little bit in certain areas of the field, everybody has to, he's going to be a talent.
Well, in some respects, Graham, that's why you stick with those sorts of players. Even though we've spoken about a couple of errors he's made today, all players make errors, but not everyone can do what he just did.
And the points added on by Witt. So Catalan have their leading margin cut 34-18.
And that's the bit of something different we're talking about there. Vakari had dropped back for the kick, and rather than kick, that time Gower selected the running play, long pass to Dixon. He took the space where Vakari had dropped into, and then bet Vakari one-on-one before chip kicking the fullback for a very good try, a very inventive try. And let's hope to see more of the same.
And John, from a coaching point of view, would it be fair to say that Vakari shouldn't have sat back there on a short side play?
Exactly right. It should have been the fullback sweeping around the back, and Vakari should have been up. But Gower spotted it, Sean. Credit to Gower.
But great stuff at one end, and then unfortunately, maybe the story of London Broncos season, a mistake at the other end with Howell not managing to take that ball.
It does look like Howell's not got that right, but as a front rower, you stand on that back line, and in the years that I played a long time ago, that's your ball until somebody says, I'm catching it for you. Olsi Krasniqi should have given David Howell the call that I'm going to catch that. He catches it on the full, and he has momentum that looks like Lapini Paya's momentum on that return.
Paya tackled. Henderson. Casti. Henderson again. Taya. That looked a little bit high. It was a little bit high. Duport, it was, who caught one across the chops.
And you're right, Graham, you know, it is the story of the Broncos. They've done something good, then they don't fail the kick-off, then they give a penalty, and all they're doing, it's self-inflicted pressure.
And Scott Giroud is the sort of player who can turn that into a try, as he just kicks into touch. Now he has it again, and it goes through the hands once more. Casti. Some noise in the stadium now as well as Giroud flips it out. Price, little short ball into Laroyer. Henderson, little dummy, nearly got to the line. The ball is dropped. Lost on impact, says the referee, Tim Roby. So it'll be London Broncos to put into the scrum.
Well, he had a good view of it, didn't he? He had an excellent view of that and made a decision. He's lost an impact. I don't think there's any problem with that. Stuart Cummins, agree with that decision?
Usually, if you get the impact of the tackle and then you see some arms around the ball and somebody pull at the ball, then you'd look at that as a ball steal. But as he's going into the contact, the ball's just come out.
Stuart, just on a broad basis, do you think that you know, the excellent TV coverage and the close-ups of these games that we see helps or hinders referees? Does it improve the general standard, do you feel?
Well, I've always believed that it helps the referee, especially now with the ref cam out there. If referees can have a look at their games from that angle, it will be absolutely, you know, really good for their training.
From the point of view of positioning, do you mean, and that sort of thing? Absolutely.
You know, one of the hardest things for referees to do is to train using footage that they actually see, because everything's at right angles to them. So to get that front-on view that they see would really help them.
Well, another error, Graham, and it's excellent defence from Catalans, but it's just poor angle running. It's Jamie O'Callaghan who just really, he's kept himself upright. He's run an overs angle towards the sideline, and he really had nowhere to go. He's run out of space. He's run out of room. He couldn't offload the ball, and Catalan defenders have done well to hold him up and drive him over. But it's another turnover in field position that you just don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's not the line to run against Vincent Deporte, is it? Because you run to his outside shoulder, he'll bang you with his outside shoulder, and he'll sit you in the front seat of the stand, which is what he's done there.
Price. Millard tackled. Henderson again. Laroyer has broken the line, but the referee is not happy.
Well, that's a shame. Laroyer has had a good game. He's probably gone into the slot where Anderson vacated when he came off with that injury. He's nice and agile, got good speed for a big fella, and that kick hasn't gone out.
No, it's a good kick. It's forced the Dragons right back onto their own line, but they won't be able to keep it behind the line because the run from Vakari just takes it to relative safety as far as Catalan are concerned. Taya.
Two. Hands out, Chris. Wait, lads, go.
Casti getting through plenty of work. Remy Casti played his entire senior career at Catalan. Oh, Henderson in the heat just getting a little bit rattled there for a moment. Escaré on kick downfield, and nice and calmly taken by Dixon under no pressure, but he took his time. He didn't grab at it.
That was a nice little touch. One exciting young prospect to another. Escaré to Dixon.
But
lost the ball there.
Again, Broncos have lost it.
Well, those errors we talk about. Kieran Dixon returns the ball about 30 metres, goes into contact, he loses the ball.
I think that stripped me, Sean.
Do you?
I think that stripped. Stuart.
Well, Steve Menzies' hands were certainly on the ball, and it's come out when his hands have come out. So
is it stripped?
I think it's stripped.
Yes.
He's like a dog with a bone, isn't he?
Well,
hey? When he sees
I just want Stuart Cummins to agree with me.
Hey?
For once.
Fakir.
Come on, over 10. Get your arms out, go.
Henderson. Laroyer.
Two. Move, come on. Move.
Important now that they don't let things slip Catalan. They keep the screw turned, give London no chance to get into the game. Time ticking away, of course, only 5 minutes, so they haven't got much to do that, but nevertheless they'll want to keep the ball at this end of the field. Henderson turns, has a good look around. Fisher tried to nick it. Muniz. Dabbed through by Giroud and touchdown by Taya. And that's another try for the Catalan Dragons. Lovely little ball from Scott Giroud. Seb Taya will be absolutely delighted with that. scored 2 tries, including the crucial winning try against London in round 9, and he's got one here today, which isn't so important, but good effort.
Well, the London Broncos will be disappointed for 2 reasons. One is they don't believe that Kieran Dixon, where they feel that should have been a penalty for a strip, but nonetheless the referee decided to go the other way. And the fact they've let Zeb Taylor come into the line and get through there. Nobody really escorted him off at all. There was no protection on that from London. Then they're defending. He just so easily got between the players. It's a nice little kick from Scott Giro, but again, tied team. You know, game's already over. You've got to we reward the skill, don't we?
Well, it's going to be virtually the same score as last year. It was 42-18 last year to the Catalan Dragons. Giroud virtually certain to kick another 2 points here.
Okay, mate. Let's finish it up.
So Giroud, even at this stage of the game, even in such a position, goes through the routine that he's so used to going through, and it pays off. By 6 the posts, and another 2 points for the Catalan Dragons. 40 points to 18. The Catalan Dragons lead the London Broncos.
Yeah, he's got a smile on his face, Scott Giroud. He knows where he wanted to put that kick, and he knew that Zeb Taylor would be in the right place. It's been a good afternoon for the Catalan Dragons, especially welcoming back Scott Giroud. He's had a big influence on this game.
Well, not that we needed any proof at all, but one thing's for sure: Scott Giroud's comeback to rugby league, the Catalans welcoming him back today, was always going to make this side a better side. The Catalan Dragons have played extremely well most of the season. They stand in good position on the table, but Scott Giroud coming back makes them even a better side, a much more competitive side, a side capable of winning things.
Dream team selection in the last 2 years, Scott Giroud, and you can understand why. He's come back here as though he's never been away. He's just such a class act. He really is.
Well, that was a good challenge from Shane Rodney. London Broncos wanting to finish defensively strong.
The Dragons will be really pleased, though, with this performance, because they were under the pump early on in the game, and they're finishing like this.
He's broken the line. He's got Price in support. Price now going for the line. And he'll get there. And it's another try for the Catalan Dragons. Great break by Escaré. Ball inside to Price. And another try for the Catalan Dragons.
Oh, this is brilliant. Sit back and watch it. Wonderful offload. Escaré juggles the ball, so it just shows it to the outside, decides I'll go through a hole. Great speed. Leon Price on the inside. One might have questioned whether he still had the pace to get there. You know, he's not getting any younger as Leon, but he certainly saw the try line. He was not going to be caught.
Sorry, Sean, you have to feel sorry for Chris Bailey. He motions the defender at the side of him. Get out, I've got Escaré. Unfortunately, Escaré's got too much gas and just goes on the outside of him.
It's an absolute...
So there we go, that's what the referee saw. He was right up with play. Clear touchdown.
He's an absolute cracker, isn't he, this Escaré? He really is. I mean, he's come from the French elite competition and he's just set Super League alight. He's so electric with his pace, he's so evasive, he reads the game so well, and you know, to say that he's taking Brent Webb's place, the biggest compliment you can say is that they're not missing Brent Webb.
Well, the succession plan is complete, isn't it, at fullback? When Brent Webb finishes at the Catalan Dragons, they don't need to search for another fullback, that's for sure.
So here's Giroud. That, by the way, was the 194th try of Leon Price's career, and that's just crept in. And it's all over. So in the end, a convincing victory for the Catalan Dragons by 46 points to 18, but a very entertaining start to the game, which was competitive for the first 40 minutes, but an excellent second half performance by the Catalan Dragons. And I'm sure the fans that have come into the stadium to watch this will be delighted with what they've seen. Some really good skills, Sean McRae.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. Particularly the second half, Catalan Dragons, fantastic.
So there we go, all good stuff. Let's go down to the touchline. John Wells.
Thanks very much.